Hey, you dorks, this is Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you are listening to The Dorkening.
Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, and although you probably accidentally stumbled across it and have no idea why you're watching it, you are in fact watching The Dorkening.
Hello, this is Tom Kenny, voice actor, the voice of the Ice King on Adventure Time, and SpongeBob SquarePants. Meow. Oh, Gary the Snail, too. Hey, guess what you're filling your eye holes and ear holes with? The Dorkening! Oh, I love the Dorkening. Very popular in Ooh, and Bikini Bottom.
Hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. You're watching The Dorkening. And you know what? You don't like me when I get angry, so don't get me angry. You better keep watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, this is Felissa Rose, and you're watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, it's Courtney Palm. We're shooting Death House, and you're watching The Dorkening.
This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned. My friend's going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
The Dorkening.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 19 of the Loudest Sports Show, brought to you by the Dorkening Network and sponsored by Deadly Grounds Coffee. We are the three Bromigos, the Ray Hall Trio, the Sports Triumvirate, and along with Slash is the Ice Queen and Emma Extreme, we are the greatest sports talk team you've ever seen. I am your host, Patrick Rahal. You can call me Patsy the Angry Nerd, and we are joined, as always, by Dave the Kardashian Dragon.
How we doing? You know what? You guys know I have a one-track mind, basically, and the only thing I'm thinking about is Saturday on Nickelodeon, the Chicago Bears, baby, going against the New Orleans Saints. Thinking about beignets all week. That's all I've been thinking about. So beignets. Let's get it done.
That's gonna be a.
It's on Nickelodeon. Yes, Amazon Video and Nickelodeon.
So what? Like if you get
Slimed, yeah.
You're gonna get slimed. The losing coach is getting slimed. Yeah.
So
That's
instead of
fantastic.
it's slime.
Yeah, pretty cool.
What are you doing out there? I don't know. And we are also
very excited.
Joined by Dan. Don't call me Danny Spencer.
Ooh, that's right. The Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour. Ooh, yeah. Happy it's Tuesday night. Happy to be here with each and every one of you beautiful people out there. Let's get this thing going and step into it.
And we are, of course, also, as you can see by the video here, even though she's wearing a mask, I can tell who it is because she's dancing up a storm. It is Emma Extreme. Emma Extreme, how you doing today?
Good.
Good. All right. That wasn't very extreme. Tell me
What's big in your life? What extreme thing did you do yesterday?
What are you doing?
Pull my tooth out.
Pulled your tooth out. Pulled another tooth out. Unbelievable.
You get a big smile.
That's fancy.
We wanted her to do it on the show, but it was
too loose.
She was kind of like new shoes. She couldn't wait.
Yeah, ripped it right out.
But was she poolside when she did it?
Aha!
There's like 4 people that are going to get that reference.
Yeah, maybe.
We are, of course, also joined, making her triumphant return. We have Slash's the Ice Queen because we have some hockey news.
Hockey season, bitches. Finally. Oh, damn time.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a live hockey preview this Sunday, 7 o'clock, similar to our NBA preview. So tune in and check that out.
7 p.m. Eastern time.
At night. Yeah, 7
p.m.
not a.m. because there were people who asked us about that. And I was like, I'm not doing a hockey preview at 7 a.m. I'm still sleeping. So this week we have a fun and exciting opening face-off question for you, and that question is, and I'm going to start with Dan because I think you've been to more than some of us. We're going to start with Dan. What is the best stadium or arena to see a live event? And you can, if you have a couple of different ones, depending on what event you saw there, you can feel free to elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, so obviously for me, the mecca, my ultimate everything is going to be Fenway. That you can't lose with Fenway. That's just the feeling going in there. And I will fully admit, for anybody listening that might want to offer up a different opinion, I've been to several. Fenway is a dump. Fenway is probably the worst condition and worst seats, worst prices, worst parking of any that I've ever been to.
That's a good point.
But it's still, it feels good. The feeling that when you walk into Fenway and when you're there, it's awesome. Whether they're winning or not, it's still a beautiful thing. But I think the best one, hands down, that I was ever at doesn't exist anymore. They knocked it down. Was the old Turner Field. Not only was parking $5, but I got food outside of it and brought it in. You could bring coolers inside of the game. There's kids walking around with boxes of Cheez-Its. So you could bring in your own food. So if you're a poor family, which I don't, I mean, if you don't have a lot of money to be going to the concession stands, which would have been nice back in the day, you could bring in boxes of Cheez-Its and Capri Suns and do whatever you want. Jeez. Not only that, but the bullpens were open. So you could see that you stand in the concourse and watch the pitchers warming up from both sides, depending on where you were standing. Just like walk over from the beer stand and go watch the pitchers warming up from either team. It was.
You can't bring waters into the Central.
You can't bring anything into anywhere, and the alcohol prices and the food prices.
Spit out that gum.
Dude, at every single one of these places are through the roof.
We have insulin at concession.
A round of beers at whether it be I almost said the Fleet Center, at the Garden, at Great Woods, at Fenway, at everywhere, every venue around here, a round of beers for two is about $30, probably more. It's disgusting. So to be able to go to a place, and again, this was mid 2000s. This is like 2013, 2012. To be able to bring in food and have cheap beer prices and cheap parking was such a foreign concept to me. Philly was nice too, but I will say Turner Field was the nicest one I've been to.
All right, Dave, how about you?
Okay, so I got a couple. I'm gonna give a little bit of what's it called? I guess tribute. I'm gonna call it tribute to Allegiant Stadium, Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. It's actually the same stadium, but those fans in that stadium were just unbelievable throughout the years. The black hole. I love the way the Raiders are. I love the way their fans are, even if they haven't won in years. But the fans are just so good.
You?
What?
Is that one you've been to?
No, I've never been there. That's not what. That's not.
All right.
It was out in LA kicking it up.
I don't think. I mean, that's not what it said. It just said the best places. I think that is one of the best places. So another one actually is going to be the venerable Soldier Field, Chicago Bears.
How do you know?
What do you mean?
How do you know? You've never been there either.
It's still. I never had to be there. It's just an amazing place to play.
How can you vouch for the goodness or badness of you?
They call it venerable for a reason.
It just means it's old.
No, that's not true. The definition of venerable, I actually looked it up, is accorded to a great deal of respect, especially because of age, wisdom, or character.
Right.
So that is why it is called. It's mostly because of the age and the character.
Fenway's venerable as shit. It's a fucking.
They don't call it venerable Fenway Stadium. They call Soldier Field venerable Soldier Field. Just saying. Okay, well, those are just two. Okay, so number one for me, and I have been there. Okay, let's just Jesus Christ. The Superdome, New Orleans, unbelievable. WrestleMania 30. I never.
Hulk Hogan. He said it was the Silverdome when he was.
He did say the Silverdome a couple times. Thought he was in WrestleMania 3, but when I went, 75,000 people, and I'm telling you, I walked down the hallway. Was with my ex-girlfriend. Was with Megan at the time. We walked down the hallway, and I'm telling you, it was like it felt like a scene out of a movie. It looked like there was just. It felt like just zombies. There was just wall to wall people. It was you couldn't move. She started having a panic attack. I'm the one that usually has panic attacks. I'm just behind her pushing through. Literally, guys are just walking into walls. Everyone's just walking. It was insane. You had to push our way through. We walked all the way down. It took us an hour. We get all the way down to the bottom to get to our seats. You guys need wristbands. Oh, okay. Had to walk all the way back up while people are all funneling down. We got stuck at one point for at least 25 minutes. It was unbelievable. Finally got to our seats, honestly, an hour into the show. Literally. We went to go get food. Okay, we ordered 2 hot dogs, probably 4 beers, maybe another drink, all this food. The guy was so flustered. There was so many people there. The kid was just like, he starts writing up the food. He's like, $18. $18 for 4 beers, 2 hot dogs, peanuts. I was like, here's a 20, bro. Keep the change. No. It wasn't that it was cheap. He was just so flustered by the amount of people. He was just like, here, I don't know. I'm going to press some buttons. I gave him a $20 bill, grabbed 2 handfuls of food, and tried to go down to our seats 3 hours into the show. It was unbelievable how much food we got. I was like, yeah, I got this, honey. Don't worry about it. Let me throw in the money. Oh, it was so ridiculous. But, yeah, it was about 75,000 people. It was unbelievable. The place is old. It is old. It's kind of small and packed. But
What happened?
well, obviously, the Undertaker streak ended that night. There's so many, I was in the 17th row behind the announcers. You can't see me really, but just one of the most amazing shows ever. So Superdome for me. I didn't get to, unfortunately, never saw a football game there. Pops actually did. Pops got to see a game there.
Said he
But,
didn't.
what?
Stay the whole time.
Said he didn't like it.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't like it because I'm telling you, he's a big dude. So the seats are small. It's like Fenway. Like everything's very old and small. It's very.
That's why Arlington's where.
Yeah, the hallways are small. I'm telling you, I felt like I was literally in a zombie movie because everyone was just crammed in this. It was so crazy. So yeah, but it was a great experience overall. So especially because you walk out in Bourbon Street's there, but yeah. So that's it for me. That was the best place.
You
could drink everywhere you want. It doesn't matter where you want to drink.
You want your drink to go, no problem.
We only do drinks to go. Oh, okay, sweet.
We only ever get
A container with a straw stuck in it.
Yeah, half the places you go to give you cups to go. Yeah, you can go back and refill them just at those spots. So yeah.
John Taffer said about 80% of the booze in New Orleans is to go.
Yep.
I
can vouch.
Taffer knows.
I can vouch.
All right, so Slashes, how about you? What's one of your favorite venues?
So I have a couple, and I can't say much because I haven't been to any sports venues outside of Massachusetts. But Fenway Park is amazing, and if you ever have the opportunity to go there for a game, do it. It's just that it's so enriched with history, and you really feel it. I mean, sometimes you can physically feel it because the chairs are so unbelievably uncomfortable. But
so terrible.
True.
The angles are awful. You're looking at the outfield instead of the field. Yeah.
But like you look and the Green Monster's there, and that's iconic. Pesky's pole. Just the banner above where the announcers, the broadcast booth, that says Fenway Park and has all the flags and stuff on it, just the smells and the sounds and everything. Like history is there. And if you ever have the opportunity to go see a concert at Fenway Park, do it because it's fantastic.
I've heard they're good. I've heard they were good. Yeah, I've heard good things.
It depends on where you're at.
You had a bad experience.
If you have third baseline seats and you have a whole row in front of you, you can't do shit.
When you're on the field, front row for Lady Gaga,
not
sold
front
out.
row. In front of front row,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
mosh
see, that's-
area.
How can you be in front of front row?
Because they had
That's a different animal.
mosh area right in front of the stage.
Fuck that. Mosh has scared the
That's-
shit out of me.
That's a different.
Not a Lady Gaga concert. You're not going to.
Nah, fuck that. Mosh has scared me. I'm a little dude. Fuck that.
I was doing some guy's eyeliner, like it's not scary.
Whoa. That started off a little weird. I was doing some guy. Oh, whoa.
How do you think they got so close?
Oh,
How do you think
Jesus.
they got so close?
Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. That makes sense.
But I have to say my favorite venue is the Garden, circa April 21st, 2010.
Yep. April 21st.
I did not see that coming. I had no idea that could have been on the list.
I mean, like something happened that day, and then something else also happened that day. But I'm talking about like the Garden before it was recently renovated.
Yeah, those
So
fucking
center.
they really shot themselves in the shin, the way that they handled those renovations. It's horrible. It's uncomfortable. Do I want to go back? Absolutely. But at the same time, I don't know, maybe pop a couple ibuprofens before going. But
you just knock down Fenway. I mean, that you kind of killed it with the Fenway thing, because that's the thing. The ambiance, the accoutrements can't get to the same level as the ambiance and the way that you feel and the kind of thing you see in the history. It's insane. Room. It's not even. Standing room is where it's at. As long as you get. See, that's the thing. It's standing room,
so many
right next to the bar, and just make sure you have something to lean on to. Because after a while, after so many, you're gonna need something to lean onto if you're sitting right next to the bar.
Lean on me.
Lean on that bar.
I wish the Garden offered something like that. Like a standing room section.
It's too slanted. Even sitting down, you think you're gonna fall forward. So I'm gonna go.
I hate that. Yeah, I hate that.
I remember when I went to the Royal Rumble at the Garden one time. I couldn't have been. When I say I couldn't have been, I was all the way back.
I've been to a Celtics
against the
and
wall.
the 20th anniversary of SmackDown.
The last
back against
row.
the wall. Back against the wall, leaning against the wall twice.
The last
Yes,
row,
we've all
all
done
the
it.
way up against the wall.
$10 seats because you
Oh,
want to fucking beat them.
hell yeah,
You
I'm
want to
here,
experience
bro.
it.
Like,
yeah, absolutely. Not a bad seat. In the
I think we sat there for a playoff game one year.
Everybody's done it once, you know what I mean? You want to be, a playoff game. You just want to be there and experience it. Who cares where you're sitting? You can see everything. Yeah.
So for me, I've been to Fenway. We've been to a hockey game at Fenway.
Oh
which
yeah,
was
the
nice.
Frozen Four. That was fantastic.
We got to take pictures right next to Pesky's pole because we've never gotten even remotely close. And until you're there, you can't see it on TV, but there is so much graffiti all over that thing.
Some rather
you don't tag your own community.
I like Fenway. Obviously, I love the Garden. We've seen so many Bruins games there, including that double overtime playoff winner, which was pretty fucking cool.
Is that what happened?
Something like that. I don't know. But I'm gonna switch it up and throw out another stadium that is now defunct and will not be used anymore. Polar Park in Rhode Island, where the Paw Sox played. That was a nice stadium. Going down there. What?
McCoy. Polar Park's the new one.
Yeah,
McCoy
Polar Park is the new one.
I was gonna say you got to switch up. Yeah. I'm like, Polar Park ain't been built yet. How the fuck you been there?
McCoy Stadium. I've driven by Polar Park.
Yeah.
McCoy Stadium. In Pawtucket. Very nice stadium. Very quaint. Good prices on the concessions. $20 will get you a long way.
Get you parked, some peanuts, and a beer, man.
Megan used to work there. My story from earlier went to New Orleans. She worked there.
Same
She
girl that
cleaned
brought
the
him to New
concessions.
Orleans.
She used to do all the stuff. She literally worked for the team.
She lasted a whole week working
She had
for
to
that
drive
team.
an hour a day. It was a tough job. But
yeah,
that stadium, I went there a couple times. The stadium is very, very nice. It's terrible to get there from downtown. The area, everything's really small, crowded
5 minutes
streets.
to get there from downtown.
But to get there, if there was a game going on, I can only imagine the traffic.
Everything is for parking. I parked across the street, behind a warehouse.
It opens up around the stadium, but to get to the stadium when you're going downtown, it's like a Dunkin' Donuts inside 3 buildings. It's like a tiny little crack. You have to drive perfectly through it, or else you're going to scratch both sides of your car.
It sucks.
Yeah, but when the stadium it opens up. It's nice, the actual stadium. But yeah,
van loads of kids down there.
Oh, I can only imagine that. The van's scraping metal on the sides going down the freaking alleys, I bet.
I will also give an honorable mention because we've only been there once, and we all got to go. Ballpark at Arlington, that was a good one.
That was fucking awesome, man.
We saw them play the Astros.
Overtime, extra innings. It was like 8 or 9 home runs.
Oh, there was probably more than that. They were just hitting home runs back and forth.
Game that was.
And
I'm surprised we didn't get a ball.
And you know what else?
That was when the Astros were in the National League.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The seats were double the size. The beers were half the price.
I think we were in row 200. We went to row 60 maybe, and there was still 40 rows.
We were in row whatever the fuck we wanted it to be. There wasn't anybody there.
There.
Where we wanted. Hey, see, that's the thing. When you go to places like this, you got to be strategic. On the night of the John Lester no-hitter, I started up way up in the nosebleeds. I sat in about 5 different spots throughout the stadium. Each time going, oh my God, oh yeah, you know what? My ticket doesn't. Oh yeah, let me look.
Yeah, but what do you think if Brian Kendrick and Paul London fought Undertaker?
The kid that we met down there with the wrestling things he had, but
the kid that we met down there.
I gotta say, the size of the stadium, and also I've also and this is again just from I've never seen better looking women better dressed at a sporting event than at that baseball game.
That was ridiculous.
Oh my God! Not only
did we go to Walmart at 3:30 in the morning and there was lines down there
every hours?
There was so many lines. Every line had 52 people in it. We had to wait an hour to cash out.
We get into town at 2:30. We get in the line at 2:30.
We got in the store at 3. Somebody got in line. We went shop till 4. And then we met up at the front because there was so many people. We bought booze at like 3 a.m. It was so stupid.
Hulk Hogan energy drinks.
Hulk Hogan energy booze drinks. So ridiculous. Everything's crazy down there.
LinkedIn. That was the week Chris Benoit died. May Bay's family rest in peace. That
was the week.
But it was also the week that Garnett got traded to the Celtics.
We played probably like
Warriors.
70 rounds of mini golf at that place. That was great.
Yeah, you guys were assholes that whole time. Every time you'd miss a putt, you'd start freaking out and smashing shit.
So apparently you forgot how you acted. I'm not sure what you think of your own behavior. You only remember what we did. You're the worst sport that there was out of the 3 of us. Check yourself.
I remember him leaving. I do remember Pat leaving at some point.
You left several times.
Because I was tired of watching you guys smash shit with your putter.
I don't know what I smashed at the golf place, but to be honest, I do remember being a little bit, I'm going to say,
both of you were
aggressive, I would say.
I remember all of us being just as equally intense.
And we had
Pat's the only one that walked off and left.
No, so basically go to Texas.
No,
everyone should go to Texas at some point. Basically,
everything literally is bigger in Texas. There was 3 courses.
I do remember playing mini golf in the middle of a fucking monsoon.
It was pouring rain. Yes, and we played. There was no one there.
Because what did we say? It was extreme.
It was very extreme.
And that place was open till 2 a.m. So we'd like go over there at like fucking midnight and play mini golf.
That was awesome.
We're the only ones that got overly mad. Pat, you're adorable. Bless your heart.
I got mad at you.
I don't remember.
You got mad at both of us because you're an uppity motherfucker.
I don't remember, but
it's so annoying. Get out of here.
It doesn't matter what happens. You can do anything you want in Texas at 2 a.m. You can go anywhere you want.
The world is open at 2 a.m.
Anywhere you want.
It's not like here. The
mini golf, go to the bars. You can go to the fucking Walmart, whatever you want.
We went to Bobby Valentine's bar.
Bobby B.
We're at Bobby B's.
Bobby B. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so I will say the worst place I've been to. Oh fuck! Now I totally lost my train of thought because all I can think of is like you guys wrecking the mini golf place.
We never broke anything at the mini golf course. That's unbelievable.
He was a consummate pro.
We broke stuff at the mini golf. Get out of here!
Check yourself, goddammit, please.
I was like 17. I remember that girl at the spaghetti warehouse hitting on me, giving me your phone number. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
That was just there, acting like a professional and never got anything wrong.
Yeah, I don't even care about that. I'm just thinking about that girl at the spaghetti warehouse with those tight pants on. Oh my god.
Yeah, Dave's the only one that got a number the whole way down.
Ooh. I got a number the first 10 minutes we were there.
Nah, it wasn't 10 minutes.
Let's go. I had long hair. I was feeling good.
Yeah, you had your Ozzy mullet. You're 80.
No. I didn't get the mullet.
Ozzy. Dave was
the mullet was not there
yet.
Yeah, they hadn't messed up my hair.
He's like, hey, where you going? I'm going to go to steak and real quick. Sharon!
No, that's not what happened.
I do remember getting the going to the mall and getting like all the friggin' Red Sox shit for like $10.
The hoodies.
Oh my god, those hoodies! I don't have mine anymore. Dan's getting his hoodie. I don't have mine. I got in a car accident in that hoodie, and the sleeve exploded on impact of the airbag. If you can believe that.
Like these were Nike Red Sox zip up hoodies.
It was like a two-tone thing. It had like the jean jacket with the gray sleeves coming down. Yeah, it was like two-tone at the top, and it had different color sleeves.
all
it was
blue.
not all blue. No, it had gray sleeves.
Gray sleeves.
It was blue to here, and then it had the sleeves coming down. Yeah,
They
it was
all got
like
the same
two-tone.
one. They were
It
less
was
than-
like the Letterman's jacket, except
less than $20.
it was on. I think we paid
Crazy.
They were $10 each.
like, who cares about these Red Sox?
$10 is.
Texas,
I think $10 is too cheap, but it was less.
What
than
about that
20.
Dallas Cowboys store?
Oh,
they
it
had?
was 10.
I got the white hat. I had
Dallas
that thing for
Cowboys
years.
store.
All the
White
all
hat with the star.
Maverick
Ooh,
stuff we
child.
bought.
I wish I had got more Maverick stuff. There wasn't enough.
And
down
they had
there.
just won the championship.
What? No, they didn't. They
You-
lost.
you-
They just lost the championship.
That's like
It
a
was
mixing
07.
bowl. You're putting a lot of
They
stuff.
won in 11. Yeah, they just
you're
made
putting
it
a lot
and
of
lost.
things in your mixing bowl, bro.
A lot of stuff was on sale that said champions that wasn't really.
But everything.
What about that other store that had all the wrestling T-shirts for $10? That was pretty.
Oh yeah,
Even berries. That was here.
Even berries.
That was here.
Oh, that was in Texas.
We initially found it there, but they also
It
had
was
one
in
here.
Texas.
It was
yeah.
in Leominster Mall. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, it was nuts. All right, so we ran long on that opening segment.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get to hockey. You guys let's bang out some hockey.
We're gonna take a quick break, and then when we
We have
come
an hour. We're less than an hour.
we're gonna
Oh
get.
yeah.
So we'll be right back.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
All right, so we are going to start off with our NHL news because it's kind of sad. So, Slashes, you haven't been on for a while, so why don't you break the news about our sad hockey state of affairs?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm sure everyone's aware because it wasn't just big news here in New England for hockey fans. It was big news like all around for hockey fans. This is huge. Zdeno Chara has left the Boston Bruins, the team that he has been the captain for the past 14 years. The majority of his career has been spent in Boston. And there was some speculation as to, what type of offer the Bruins offered him, if he would retire, which a lot of people thought that he would. Like he was just kind of waiting, almost like dragging his feet to make the announcement. Because, it's a decision that some guys really don't want to have to make. To kind of come to terms with the fact that, you've gotten older and you can't necessarily physically cannot play the game anymore.
Father Time is the only one who's undefeated.
He was drafted by the Islanders in 96 and started playing for them in 97. He's had a crazy career and, won a Stanley Cup and, and a Norris Trophy and has accomplished so much in his career, over 1,500 games at this point. So they really thought he was going to retire. And come to find out, breaking news, he signed a 1-year, $795,000 contract with the Washington Capitals.
Which is insane.
There are some people who, they're not going to be with your team forever. You kind of, prepare yourself for the day that they get traded or what have you. But this kind of hurts a little bit. Like I didn't see this coming. I thought that he would either spend another year as a Bruin or retire a Bruin. And, the office has already said that there's a place for him.
Yeah.
Should he, should he try, decide to retire and stay with the team. So it doesn't feel too good. And, we'll obviously miss him. And I'm going to save some of my personal opinions for the live show on Sunday. But yeah, it sucks. But obviously we wish him well playing with the Capitals. That's a great team to play for. I mean, obviously with everything that they've accomplished, I think, you have a veteran like Ovechkin. But what's, everyone is talking about now is the captainship of the Boston Bruins. And when Chara was signed back in, or when he was traded back in 2006 to the Bruins, he had it in his contract that he would be the captain. That was part of their agreement.
Yep.
So he actually replaced, because Joe Thornton was just sent to the San Jose Sharks. And so he replaced Thornton as the captain and has been the captain for the past 14 years. And now, the
three
big
President's trophies, the Stanley Cup, three finals appearances.
And what's crazy is typically when a guy does something like this, it's because they're chasing after a cup and their team has really no chance of getting there within the short time frame that this one player has left. Kind of like a Ray Bork situation.
Right. They traded
they traded Ray Bork to the Avalanche. And then in that final season, he went and, his final game was a Stanley Cup game where they won.
Yep.
So, he was able to retire with his ring, but, through and through, he's still considered a Bruin. This isn't that situation because, Chara won a Stanley Cup back in 2011. He was imperative for them winning that cup.
That Chara Seidenberg pair was like the best pairing they could have possibly
we
put
wouldn't have
together.
done it without him. So I say we, like I had something to do with it,
They heard us cheering.
I'm a team, yeah. But anyways, so that's the big news coming out of the NHL for this past week. It's been the trading of Zdeno Chara to the Washington
Free agent
Capitals.
signing.
Yeah, he wasn't traded. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So, the NHL preview show for the Loudest Sports Show is this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, where we're going to get into more in-depth into who's who, what to expect, or I should say what we expect from certain teams, who's going to go the distance, who's not, and, the future of the Kraken team, which is coming.
They just got their assistant GM.
So a lot of stuff happening. The first game of the NHL season is the 13th.
Yep. So we'll be
coming
doing
up soon.
The show, which will be the 11th, and hopefully we get some good predictions. So I'm looking forward to that one. We don't have much in the way of MLB. Not a whole lot going on in Major League Baseball right now. Not after the flurry of stuff that happened. But Dave, do you want to talk about what's going on with the NBA?
Well, I'm gonna talk about my. I'm a little displeased with, the production of the New Jersey. Wow, almost called the Brooklyn Nets.
You're not the only one. Everybody does that.
They were my preseason pick, and I still think they'll probably make the number 1 or number 2 seed, depending on the Bucks, or actually the 76ers playing amazing basketball right now. The best
6-1.
It's early, but they have the best record in the NBA.
You're breaking up. What was that?
Yeah, the number 1 team, but it's still early. But the Sixers are playing really good ball. They got some good additions to that team. I like it a lot. But Nets really not playing good. Durant got kind of tweaked a little bit, so he's going to be out. I almost bet the Nets tonight, and I called Pops. I said, "Oh, Pops, the Nets are getting 4. This is great. I can't believe it. They're playing the Jazz." And he goes, "Yeah, well, Durant's not playing." I said, "Oh, I'm going to stay away from that game then. Not going to bet that because that's just
at least the next 4 with COVID, through COVID protocol."
Yeah. So
there's really a 3-game swing between everybody in the first week and change.
No, it's tough, but
literally it doesn't matter.
It does though. I don't like the way they started off hot and they just have been playing good. If you saw the last game they played, Durant had the game winner in the third game they played, missed it. Kyrie passing the ball. So this last game they just had Kyrie had a chance. He pulls up. He said, "I'm taking this one." Crossed up, pulled up, missed. Durant got his own rebound, took a 10-foot jumper, and just missed it badly.
So we all think the 76ers are going to continue their 6-1.
I'm not saying that. I said it's early, but they do look really good.
You said it. I said it was early. You said no, that doesn't matter. I just said no, it's early. Nah.
I said it was early, but it doesn't. I think the Sixers are playing good. It doesn't matter about the Nets. I'm saying I don't think the Nets really. but it bothers
3-game
me.
difference.
If you said the first few games, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I think the Nets, it's bothering me that they're not playing better than they should. But they have a problem with defense. They do. It's an obvious glaring issue. So they really need to get better. The Hawks were putting on a show the other day, throwing alley-oops off the backboard and, making them look bad. So
the Knicks and the Cavaliers aren't going to be better than them at the end of the season. And they lead them right now. So the standings right now.
What are you talking about?
Oh, what I'm talking about is the fact the wins and loss records, which you just talked about, which I talked about. It doesn't matter right now because
no, it doesn't. I'm saying the Nets bothers me.
So the Nets one does.
The Nets bothers me because I predicted them to be.
Does, but everybody else doesn't.
I'm saying I predicted the Nets to be dominant, and they're not being dominant right now, and it's
can't
bothering
judge
me.
Dominant 7 or 8.
They won the first 2 games by over 25 to almost 30 points, and then lost to the Hornets, and then Durant missed a game winner, and they just lost again last night, and Durant and Kyrie missed a game winner. So that is troubling to me. I don't like that. The Sixers playing so well. Like I said, it's probably not going to last the whole season, but that's a good sign for them.
Same as the Nets.
Probably not. It's what I said.
Friends in the first week.
If you listen
for shit.
What I said is there'll probably still be a number 1 or number 2 seed, depending on how good the Bucks do. But it's still bothering me because I want them to do better. It's pissing me off, and I don't like. No one likes Kyrie as a person, except for Kyrie. But he's a great ball player. But he's not. He's not getting it done. So
Kyrie's off the table.
Celtics looking pretty good. They did drop a couple in a row, but they won their last 3. So dominant game last night. They destroyed the Raptors. What?
They're 5-3.
Yeah, well, they were. I think they were 1-3. So I think they might have won their last 4 games.
No, they were 1-3.
Yes, they won their last 4 games.
2-3.
They were 1-3, I think, at one point.
Yeah, they were 1-3.
Yeah, they were. I'm pretty sure they were. Definitely didn't start out good, but Tatum and Brown have been playing really well. They've both been going back and forth scoring.
Pritchard too.
Lil Pritch, they were calling him. He had 24 last night.
24, 8 assists.
He's a really good player. He came out of nowhere. He's one of those guys that just sometimes guys just fit in well with other players. And when you're a guy who can pass the ball, which is what he does, he can shoot. But when you can pass the ball to a guy like Tatum and Brown, that's all we need you to do. Just give the ball to Tatum and Brown so they don't have to make them themselves. It's so hard to create off the dribble. If you have a guy that can give you the ball in his position to shoot, it's like, why do you think Derek Fisher was so good for so long?
Yeah, you know what though? People gave them a lot of crap about this draft. Peyton Pritchard was not somebody that everybody was excited about.
Well, that's why they gave him crap. But
you go and get a 4-year
can't predict
player.
that.
You go and get a 4-year player. He's giving them exactly what they expected him to be.
I think he's exceeding the expectations. I think,
but he has.
I think he's already exceeded.
He's not like a Jason.
Does he though?
No, yeah.
He's like a Jay Will. I feel like he's like a Jason Williams kind of guy. He's not as flashy or anything like that, but
he's played long enough already.
He understands the game.
But he understands the game. But that way, I think his ceiling is more established than a Brown or a Tatum. So you kind of know what you're going to get out of him. But
Tatum's definitely going to be. He could be an All NBA first team player.
These dudes,
in a couple of years.
These dudes haven't hit their ceiling
Once Durant and Harden are out of the league,
Pritchard,
and LeBron, he might win.
Maybe Pritchard has hit his ceiling, but that way you can insert a guy that I'm going to put him in here. He knows what he's doing. He knows where he needs to be. He knows what he needs to do.
Yeah, he's a great addition. Great addition to the team.
I don't think he's not a starter, but I think having a guy like that off the bench that could bang out 23 and 8 rebounds, that's dope.
The fact that he scored 23
is
ridiculous.
That's and it's not the first time that he's been productive like that off the bench. So
no, he's a great ball handler, and that that really allows you. Well, how about speaking of ball handlers? How about Steph Curry's 62 the other day?
Speaking of ball handlers, talk about Dave.
Oh my God! Yeah, I can dribble a ball or two.
Dave knows his way around a couple balls.
Steph Curry though dropped 62 the other day, second oldest player ever.
62.
To score 62 points in a game. He was just I watched the game. It was unbelievable. He was going
fantastic.
off. He's just dribbling around and shooting threes. He was like dribbling in. The guy would be on his back. He'd take a dribble back up and then just throw up like a little one-handed floater. Dominating. It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. So really happy with them. Mavericks looking pretty good too. Lakers 5-2. They're going to beat the Grizzlies tonight.
So they'll
be 6-2.
I think it's too early
Lakers
to
are
make
back-to-back championships. Clippers are 5-2 playing the Spurs tonight, who are 2-4. I did a 3-team parlay. I got the Clippers, the Lakers, and I believe the Blazers to go over tonight. So let's hope they're all given 9.5 or 10.
I like how they're structuring everything, though. I like this series. They're
doing series like we talked about. Like I said, the Warriors played the Blazers 3 games in a row.
I love it.
That's awesome. They won't play the rest of the season.
Love
So you get them in the city, they play, and they go do their thing.
For COVID's sake, that's about as good as you could do. Don't go nowhere. Go back to your hotel, do the thing, blah blah blah. Go home for a couple days.
Go do your thing, yeah.
Do your thing. Go home for a couple days. Come back, play some ball games. Do your thing. I like the way they're structuring it. I think it might work in the long run. And guess what? What are we? 3 weeks in?
Not even really, probably.
So 2-3
Some
weeks.
teams
in?
only played 7 games, maybe barely 3 weeks.
Either way, aside from the punk ass, bitch ass Rockets, there's been no issues.
Oh, okay.
There's been no issues though.
Harden is playing
No,
really fucking well for a fat guy.
Yeah, but you know what? The more I look at him, though, the more he just like instead of like being fat, he kind of looks a little buff.
Like Paul Pierce.
Kind of looks like a little.
Looks like
buff,
Paul Pierce back in the day.
Like Paul Pierce moved like slow and fast at the same time.
Like Luka Doncic. It's the exact same thing.
Luka's a million times better.
No. But Luka, the way he moves is he's so like. You just don't think he's moving fast, but he is. He's just like Paul Pierce.
He moves.
That's why his draft stock kind of dropped a little bit because people were questioning his athleticism. But I'm sure he's answered that question already. So, yeah, NBA is pretty good right now. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a great season.
It's going smooth so far.
They're doing a good job.
That's all you can ask.
The Sacramento Kings are good. Cavaliers are winning games. It's going to be a great season. It's going to be up in the air. Honestly, it's not going to be as cut and dry as it has been in the past. I feel like there's a lot of teams that might make it. It's going to be like the NFL. I think there's a few teams that are going to flip and flop. Obviously, in the West, in the East, you still got your top 4 or 5, but I feel like that bottom is really going to change. So, we'll see what happens. With COVID, anything's possible. You got guys missing games.
Anything's possible!
Yeah, Kevin Garnett said it best. So, let's see. We'll have to just wait and see. And I'm ready for the ride, baby. Ready to go.
So
he sounded like Fred Durst just now. He's like, "All right, let's keep on rolling, baby."
Are you ready?
Can you open that door so I can hear?
Yeah, let's get into the wrestling part because we got a little bit to talk about for NFL.
Take a deep breath. So it's been a really, really interesting last 2 weeks with the whole Brody thing. Last week we had the Brody tribute show, the Brody Lee tribute show. Wrestled in Shikara, wrestled in Ring of Honor, wrestled in WWE, wrestled in AEW. It was there's ratings, there's fan ratings. It killed in the demo. So on cable television, this show killed in the demo. It did just under 1 million fans, which for AEW is top shelf right now. But did the best fan rating in wrestling history. Rather, it was about I think a 9.53. Which is better than WrestleMania X7, which WrestleMania 17, rather. That was one of the best WrestleManias of all time. In most people's estimation, was the best, but the fan rating of this was better than that. It was awesome. Basically, his whole faction, the Dark Order, they had matches all night. It was very emotional. His wife was there. His children were there. Everybody wrestling, under the group that he led. Everybody's demeanors and everything. It was clearly, visibly very tough for everybody to do it, but man, everybody killed everything. They still managed to progress some storylines. And I want to encourage anybody listening, if you have not, Eddie Kingston, who is the best promo in wrestling in any company, there was a clip of him from the Being the Elite podcast that went viral of him giving a promo about how Brody would feel and how they're going to do it for him. It went viral, but being somebody that watches that podcast every week, it was so amazing to see this man who gives, again, nobody gives a better promo in the business. Who am I talking about? You didn't hear me say. Who is it?
Yes, I did, and I just disagree completely.
Well, Dave doesn't know because he's been.
I don't know because the guy can give promos on Gatorade bottles. I care.
Eddie Kingston can cut a promo on Swedish Fish. Which you see Swedish Fish, a chocolate chip cookie, whatever it is.
Not the best promo,
but he knows Brody. It was beautiful. His kid got involved, laid out MJF with a kendo stick. It was awesome. Rowan, who was his former partner from back in the day with WWE, got involved.
That guy is.
He's a monster.
Yeah, but I can only imagine how he feels.
Oh, yeah, that was his brother.
His brother,
but to see his baby and his 8-year-old son and his wife come in the ring.
His 8-year-old son and his what?
Yeah. His 8-year-old son.
His 8-year-old son and his what? What does his 8-year-old son have?
He's -1. He's Brody.
But what does he have? What did he just get? A newly signed?
I was about to say, yeah. Who is also, that's a good call, Dave.
Newly signed.
So signed to a lifetime contract, Brody Lee Jr.
-7 years old, right?
-1 in the Dark Order, 8 years old.
8 years old, signed to a life contract because his dad just passed. I love that. That's so classy by them.
And you know what the best part
Unbelievable.
is? It's if he wants to be a professional wrestler,
he can.
It's there for him.
But if not, he can do his own thing. He's always going to get paid. He's taken care of. I love that. Such a classy move by the organization. That's unbelievable. WWE has never done
not even
anything
close.
like that. And I applaud them for that. It's unbelievable.
How about this? You know what? After the past week, the things that I have seen, so stupid punk ass, bitch ass, awful, terrible person of the business, David Arquette, won the WCW championship and gave all of his money to either the Pillman family, who just lost their father, or the family of Owen Hart, who just lost their father.
So classy.
And to put that in contrast, a little juxtaposition, what did Vince McMahon do to the wife? Did he give her money? Did he support her? No. He counter-sued her.
She did sue him, though.
She sued him for damages because they murdered her husband.
Sort of, yes.
And he countersued her instead of going,
hey,
you know what? Hey, you know what? It was on our watch. Let's give you some money and take care of you. No.
Should have. That would have been the right thing to do.
That would have been the right thing. He countersued her. Tony Khan not only signed his kid to a contract, brought his family out there, made sure they're taken care of, and made him the TNT champion for life. They retired the design of the belt that they originally had, which is like 6 months old at this point.
For him. Yeah.
Retired it for him. Gave it to him, said, you're the TNT champion for life.
I heard about some foul play maybe in
No, that's bullshit. Don't even start this. That he had COVID? That he had COVID and they covered it up? Because don't even bring that nonsense into it. Because that's shit. That's shit.
You hate to hear stuff like that about, something that's so sad and so...
You're referencing somebody that came from a garbage source. Garbage source. Don't reference garbage sources.
It's very disrespectful. It's just like a horrible thing. Like,
Yes.
you don't do that.
It's the wrong time to do it.
Can't sully somebody's name. It's a very sad thing. You don't start talking about conspiracies and stuff like that. I'm all for conspiracies, but not in a time like this.
It's unfortunate that there were people within the wrestling media that used this event to try to get a spotlight on themselves by saying, "Oh well, the reason that they were tight-lipped about his situation is because he had COVID, and they didn't want anybody to know." Rather than he was sick and they didn't want to tell everybody about it, and it's none of any of our goddamn businesses, which that is the fact. The guy had a lung infection. He wrestled the end of October, was perfectly fine, caught an infection, was not COVID. And even if it was, what they told him, Jim Ross, good old JR, was quoted as saying, from what he heard, whatever he had going on with his lungs was so bad that he didn't even qualify for a transplant. And that happened within the last time we saw him in the ring and afterwards.
Could have been cancer. You never know.
Could have
Slide
been
that mic
anything.
over closer to Dave because I can't hear Dave when he's talking.
Sorry. No, that's good now.
It could have been anything, but it's wrong to speculate when you literally, the guy that speculated had no background, no idea, no nothing of the situation.
I didn't like it at all.
But he just wanted to throw something out there. And, in all this time where so many people within a business have come out and say,
trying to get a hot lead. It's ridiculous.
Like, this guy is one of the best people that any of us knew. And it sucks that we lost him because he was one of the good guys in the business, which if anybody's familiar with the wrestling business, there's not a ton of them. Most of the guys in the wrestling business are out for themselves, will do anything they can to get themselves over and put other people down. It's cutthroat. It's what it is. It's like showbiz, baby. It is showbiz. But this guy was like, there's no ego. There's no nothing. The things you hear about him, he's a wonderful dad.
It was shocking.
I heard a story that Cody said the day they had their dog color match, but maybe not everybody has seen. It's a dog color match for the TNT Championship, which Brody lost. Brody lost this match. Brody lost this match, but he knew it was going to happen before, and he bought Cody a bottle of top shelf whiskey, and he was like, I hope I get to share this with him afterwards. But Cody didn't get to share that bottle with him afterwards. because the only thing that he thought after that match was getting home to his family and kids. His wife and his kids were his whole life. Similarly, kind of something you hear about Owen Hart. You don't hear that about Ric Flair. You don't hear that about a lot of these other guys because their career was the number one thing. His family was the number one thing. That's a beautiful. All these guys, a-holes. Oh, I got all these kids I don't know about. I'm banging groupies and
there's nobody worse than
ring rats. You know what I mean? Like, it's a beautiful thing to hear. So I hate to hear that, but to put that in the past, we're trying to move past that as a community. I hate to hear people slinging mud, especially when they don't know nothing. And that guy's basically a pariah and been kicked out of the organization that he was in. No, he's out. No, he's done. He's toast.
Lives in the ocean. He feeds off other fish. It's a problem.
Pro Wrestling Torch was the wrestling site that he wrote for, which was kind of fringe as it was. They've been completely discredited, rather than being just like 90% discredited, and being anything that you listen to from PW Torch, take it with a grain of salt. Now it's just don't listen to them. So he fucked them. So basically, that's where we're at. Last night was garbage. Legends Night on Raw. It started out with, this is a Hulk Hogan. I got the H phone. It gets Facebook and Twitter, and oh God, I like Hulk Hogan 120 times less than I used to, but I didn't want to see him last night.
I didn't see.
I didn't care. I didn't care about it. And Goldberg. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. Oldberg, who walks out and got in the face of Drew McIntyre. Okay, Drew McIntyre.
He loses to Goldberg.
Goldberg getting in the face of Drew McIntyre would look from the outside in like Dave coming in and getting in the face of me. Like, hey, you're almost a foot taller than me, and you eat as much as I weigh on a daily basis. I'm gonna get you. It was pathetic. He's old, and you know what? I am so glad to hear what Drew McIntyre said. He said, I don't know if I can do that because fighting you would be like fighting my dad.
Well, it's like the thing with Jorah and
dude, it's pathetic. I am so disgusted that they would even bring him into this mix. Goldberg sucks. Goldberg doesn't deserve it. If Goldberg sucks. It's awful.
Forever.
Always. He's never had it. He doesn't have a repertoire of moves. The whole angle of what they're doing with him is trash. I don't want to see him. He should just kind of let it go. Just let it go.
He wants to be a hero to the kids. Wants to be a hero.
He's nothing. So
Bret Hart, he's a hero.
Oh, he's a hero. So basically, where I'm going to leave it is that Keith Lee should be challenging Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, and not Oldberg. Oldberg needs to go. He had his time. It's not 1999 anymore. We're 22 years past your prime. Let it go.
Let it go, or I'll give you a war you won't believe.
You won't believe. Good call. His best movie, by the way. Fight Me.
What, Rambo? First Blood?
Yeah, it's either that or Cliffhanger. One of the two.
Cliffhanger. He didn't even get all the good lines in Cliffhanger. Michael Rooker.
Rocky 1 doesn't hold up. Rocky 1 was boring. I love Rocky 1, but it's boring.
It's the greatest film ever made. It probably made more money than any movie ever made compared to how much they filmed it for.
That movie made no money.
It cost like $20,000 to make. Rocky 1 made so much money compared to how much it was cost to make. It made millions. No. Yeah, and it cost like $10,000 to make it, bare minimum.
No, it cost more than $10,000.
No, I don't know how much it cost, but it was under $50,000, and it made so much money. Yeah, Rocky was great, dude. That script got sold for millions of dollars too. He wrote that script.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he won an Oscar for it.
Exactly. It was one of the cheapest movies ever made. It really was.
It wasn't that good.
Rocky 1 isn't that good.
I love Rocky 1.
So what do you say it's not good for?
Because it's it's the second worst one of the series.
I don't know. I agree with that.
Rocky 2 is better. Rocky 3 is better. Rocky 4 is better.
Rocky 2 sucks.
is the best one.
Rocky 2 sucks.
Rocky 4 is the best one.
Yeah, Rocky 3 is the best one.
No. Ivan Drago. We all know 4 is the best. It's Ivan Drago. It's Dolph Lundgren. He's the best action figure of all time.
No, you're right. You're right.
What?
$225 million.
$225 million. How much did it cost to make?
Million.
Was it really $1 million?
Yeah.
I thought it was way less than that.
No.
Maybe with all the advertising and stuff, but to actually film it, it didn't cost that much.
No, it did. The advertisement doesn't go into that budget.
Yeah, no.
Okay, fine, whatever, fine. It still made 200.
Everybody got
225 times its money.
That's nothing to sneeze
That's
at.
insane.
Everybody got nominated for Oscars.
But the only thing it won was what? Best screenplay?
Look
Best
at Rocky
picture?
Botany with his money.
Look at Rocky Botany money.
You get all these 80s robots out of here.
Yeah, but second.
Happy birthday, Polly.
2, 3, 4, and 6 were better.
6?
Yeah, Rocky
No.
First of all, anything past 4 doesn't count. So it's the first 4.
I watched the thing about Tommy Gunn today. It was
No, Tommy who?
Creed is 7 and 8. All right, let's because we're short on time, so let's move on.
Short on time. Let's go. Yeah.
We'll move on to NFL. So, couple of quick things. Josh Jacobs was arrested for possible DUI after a crash with car.
I know you put a question mark on that. Yeah, he was drunk.
That sucks.
Come on now.
Well, they don't have proof for it. Like they don't have they entered in a plea of not guilty, but there's no way to determine because they didn't do any.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
He probably was.
They helped him out. Good for that. No, good. I'm glad they helped him out. Good.
So up next, Doug Marrone fired. Yeah, not really all that surprising. Adam Gase fired. There are rumors that he is going to be the New England Patriots quarterbacks coach next year. But who is going to be their quarterback? That's the
Matt Stafford.
You know,
Dan's worst nightmare.
No, you know what? There's an affliction.
I got a fever.
No, there's an affliction within the NFL and NBA that I can't stand, and just teams from time to time will break out of it. I'm so tired of these retreads and go, oh, this guy crashed down, burned in flames here. Well, maybe he'll do good at this. You know what I mean? Come on. I know some dudes that are head coaches are more will be more successful as coordinators. But I'm so sick of these retreads. My God.
Because everybody knows everybody.
They're talking about bringing friggin' other college Harbaugh back to coach the Jets. Like, come on.
That'd be great.
No, it'd be good for a season and a half.
With Justin Fields as a quarterback?
Dude.
And they traded Sam Darnold?
Garbage.
No, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be great next year. Not great.
You know what's going to be great?
Maybe
about
not
the
great.
Jaguars?
Maybe not great, but compared to this year, leaps and bounds.
Oh, better than the dead last.
Diane's the boss.
Dude,
Shaq Khan's the boss, according to him.
I heard today
So
they
what
have
do
$100,000.
Million.
100. Oh my God,
They
jeez,
have
I can't believe I messed that up.
millions
$100 million in cap space, and they're going to get Trevor Lawrence. Guys are going to want to go play with Trevor Lawrence. Guys are going to sign there. What do you mean? No, they're not. You guys are crazy, dude. You guys are crazy. Hey, we'll talk about this.
Staff
Never mind. We'll talk about this
and
later.
an owner that decides.
How do you know who the coach is going to be? Maybe it's somebody good.
They're
interviewing like 18 guys because they know they have that much cap space, and they know they're going to draft Trevor Lawrence. So guys want to go there.
There has to be coaches in football. There have to be coaches.
They're interviewing. There's literally 20.
Shaq Khan's the boss and doesn't listen to nobody.
There's literally 20 good candidates for coaches this year. There's so many good coach candidates.
That may be the worst job available.
Jacksonville?
Yes, that may be the worst job available.
No way, dude.
That's the worst job.
With that cap space,
I would take the Jets job over that.
No, you would not. With that cap space, drafting Trevor Lawrence, the first pick in the draft, and they actually have. You know how many picks they have in the first round? Do you know how many picks they have in the first round? Do you know how many picks they have in the first round? 7.
Oh, good. Good for them.
Dude, they can rebuild their entire roster and sign so many free agents. They can get guys cheap. Guys are gonna, dude. They're gonna be completely new next year.
What does that matter?
They're gonna be a completely
They
different
have
team next year.
calling picks on a team that has nine draft spots. What does that matter?
They're gonna be good next
Shaq
year.
Khan doesn't know nothing about football.
They're gonna be good next year.
Terrible owner.
They have so many picks.
Everything has to come through me.
They got the Rams pick and the.
Are you not aware of this? Are you really not aware of
It doesn't matter, dude. They have that much capital. They're gonna be good. So here's the thing: a head coach goes in and he runs the whole organization.
No, that's
he's
what I'm
going
telling
to.
you. No, that's what I'm
He
telling
will.
you.
They said today they're looking for a coach that runs the whole organization. They want an offensive, defensive. Run the whole thing, coach. That's what they want.
If the owner asserts himself, what the head coach says does not matter.
That's
Yeah,
not what they said
Belichick.
today.
Bob Kraft was the one doing the drafting.
That's not what they
Doesn't have
said
anything
today.
to
They
do
came
with
out today and said they want a guy.
It wasn't Shaq Khan. They said yesterday, I'm the boss. I make the decisions.
And he
that
said,
yesterday.
I want a coach that runs the whole team. That's what I
He
want.
said that. He said that. Because
The
yesterday, I know what he
organization said that.
No, the organization said that. You don't know. The tweet. Did they tweet it out?
I don't really care.
No, they tweeted out. You know the details. I heard Shaq
I
Khan
really
say
don't
something
care.
different.
You're right.
I really don't care.
I
really
don't.
don't care. I don't
You're just
care.
you're just-
I don't want to say that I'm wrong.
Here, let's
You're
go.
just telling me I'm wrong, so I'm not going to sit here and okay, fine.
All right. I got shit to do. I'm on a time crunch.
Oh, you got shit
I
to
don't
do.
care. What does that have to do with anything? I'm not going to.
The show
Let's cut it up.
the next 15 minutes. So
He's telling me I'm wrong, so I'm not going to sit here and argue with him. It is what it is. I don't care.
you gotta move on. All right.
Right, 80% on this show. You can go back and look it
Well,
up.
speaking of which, let's take a look
Not
at
NFL picks. Not
let's take a
NFL
look at
picks.
picks.
No, not that.
All right, let's see. So finishing dead last, Dave, who knows how to pick every game.
I said I don't know how to pick games.
141 and 115.
That's terrible.
Beaten out by Dan by one game. 142 and 114. I did not
take chances. I
from
take
Dad.
chances.
I did not get picks from Dad for this past week, or I haven't entered them, I should say.
He didn't have a good week, so I don't think it was that great.
No, in order for him to have won, he would have had to have gone. In order for him to tie, he would have to go 19 and 0 with 16 games. In order for him to go in second, he would have to go 17 and 0. So the winner, the champion of the picks for this year, was Matt. Matt ended up winning with a record of 164 and 92.
What a bastard, that guy.
14 and 2 this week.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's a hell of a run.
Second place, because she went 15 and 1 this week.
Wow.
Was Slashes the Ice Queen at 162 and 94.
Ridiculous.
I finished third at 157 and 99, depending on you said Dad didn't have a good week, so he would have to have
He didn't have a good week, no.
he would have to have 12 wins to tie me. He would have to go 12 and 4.
He didn't. There's no way he did. So
I
beat him in spread picks, and I had like 8 wins, 9 wins, maybe. So
let's go with our playoff picks, because there are 6 games this week, and let's see what we got here. So we'll start off with the NFC. New Orleans hosting Chicago at 4:40 p.m. Sunday. Dan, who do you got?
Nolans.
don't ask me.
You're gonna go with the Bears?
Yeah, because New Orleans chokes every year in the playoffs. They're garbage.
No, I don't think they're going to be garbage against this team.
Yes, they're garbage. Superdome, just like I was talking about earlier, baby.
Yeah, the
All-Stars
Superdome,
in.
brother.
Bears going to come in, get some drinks on Bourbon Street, and they're going to be fucking feeling good.
Yeah, the Bears are going to be way feeling good.
No,
than-
the Bears are going to be fine.
Just like when the Raiders didn't show up that one game.
I'm not worried about the Bears.
You should be.
I'm going to go next to the Rams and Seahawks. Seahawks hosting
He
the
didn't
Rams.
pick. He
No,
never
where's your
picks.
pick? You never pick.
He never
Don't
says
start
his
this.
picks.
What you pick?
He writes his picks down after
God
the
damn
game.
it. Oh, this is what I picked.
I said the Saints.
Okay, Saints.
What are
Good.
you
But
talking
didn't
about?
say it. You did,
Never
you-
said the
you
Saints.
Did not say it. Neither of us heard you say it, which means
You
you
didn't
did not
say it.
say it. I was waiting. Go on.
No, you've been saying like I never say my picks. I don't
Oh,
know.
no, that's it. That's That's a
called you
tactic.
out a
That's a
couple times.
tactic of yours. Yeah.
No, I
Well,
always
no, this is what I said. Like,
No,
what?
a
You
couple
guys are-
times I've been like, hey, who's your
Don't
pick?
front. Don't front. Just own it.
He's fronting.
Just own it.
I don't need to cheat. If I cheated, I would have won. I came in third.
Well, you can't make it that obvious.
Means you didn't cheat that good.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, so we have the Seahawks and the Rams. Seahawks 12-4 hosting the number 6 Rams at 10-6. 4:40 Eastern Saturday. Seahawks -4.5. Saints are -8.5. I'm still taking
keeps changing. Keeps changing.
Well, as of right now that I'm looking at it, Saints are -8.5. I'm taking the Saints.
And 7. Now it's 8.
It's the Seahawks.
And the over/under is 48. So I'm gonna stay. I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go with the over on the Saints game. But Seattle Seahawks at Rams. Seahawks -4.5. Over/under 42. I think that's gonna go under, but I still think the Seahawks win.
But we're still picking straight up, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just giving you my because Dave always complains that I never pick against the spread.
That's actually the very first time I've ever heard you proactively pick against the spread, so that's good.
Well, because it's showing me the spread on.
Who are you picking?
There's never had the spread.
No, it's never had the spread in front of me.
Who are you picking?
Seahawks.
It said the Seahawks
Yeah,
and
I'm picking the Rams all day long.
Ugh.
The best defense, way better than the Seahawks. There's no way the Seahawks beat the Rams. It's not going to happen.
Oh, really? With Jared Goff and his broken thumb that he just had surgery on?
The Redskins do not. The Washington football team has an unbelievable defensive line, but
That's
overall,
the number 2 defense in the league.
Yeah, but they don't have a quarterback, so
the
I
Rams have the the best defense.
But I'm saying
the Rams have the best cornerback and arguably the best.
That's great, but
line player.
How many games you going to win scoring 0 points?
None.
I don't care. Jared Goff is going to play.
You don't
Doesn't
win
matter.
games with 0-0. You don't.
He just had surgery on his hand.
He's going to spit on it and rub it in dirt and tape it up. He'll be fine.
Well, he should have done that last week then.
They didn't need to. They're still in the playoffs.
They should have.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't. If they lost that game, they were out.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
100% true.
If the Bears had won, they still would have been in it.
No, Cardinals would have gotten in.
Okay, I guess.
We're not a playoff team going into last weekend.
Well, they are. They're
Well,
fine.
Dave, you got the Rams?
Yes.
They got the Rams.
And who do you got?
I already said the Seahawks literally 17 times. I couldn't have said it more without losing my breath.
I'm sure you could have.
My God.
All right. So now Washington hosting Tampa Bay, Bucks -7.5, over under 46.5. I'm going with the Bucks and the under.
I really think the Washington will cover the spread. I think Washington will cover the spread.
Dan, you got to speak up. I can barely hear you. I heard you say it a bunch.
Tampa, baby!
I'm going to take Washington.
When you do your picks, you speak so softly and then go, "Why didn't you hear me?"
That's what he says.
Well, because I'm not used to the mic thing because this is the second week we've used it. That's why.
Oh, so you're not used to speaking up loud. Oh, okay, I get it.
No. I'm used to not speaking into a mic that's in between us. I'm used to speaking into a microphone that's connected to the headphones that I'm wearing on my fucking head.
Yeah, well,
Different.
It's
Different.
if you speak softly, you can't expect people to hear you. So, Dave, who has you got in this game?
I'm taking the Washington.
I'm taking the Bucks to cover, and I'm taking the under.
I'm not going to cover the spread. No way to cover the
Straight
spread.
up.
Oh, wait, 2 out of the 3 of us are doing spreads and the other ones aren't. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Oh, I don't know if Dave's doing the spread. I'm just telling you that I am because Dave complains I never do.
Bucks will win. I think the Bucks are going to win. Washington's going to.
Without telling anybody that we're going to do it.
Washington's covering the spread.
No, I didn't do it because I'm just looking at the schedule on ESPN. I'm only doing it because
It's not where you've looked at the schedule the whole time. They just started putting spreads this week.
Yeah. Yes, this is the first time.
Some shenanigans on that.
Well, go to ESPN right now, pull up a week, and show me where it showed the spread. Because every week it just had the teams, and then you could buy tickets and shit. This is the first time.
It just seems like a
Not
weird
true,
thing that all of a
dude. They
sudden
always
only
have
in
the spread
playoffs.
underneath the
Oh, they
game.
didn't. This is an article. This isn't just the schedule. This is an article.
See, they list the games. Here's the spread. They list it underneath the game every single time
so
for the
you're
whole
reading
year.
this- You're reading this out of an article.
You
rather
don't know
than-
how to read the.
Yeah,
Would
we've
you go to
just been-
scores
we've just been
on
missing
the
it.
I don't go to scores. I go to each week's schedule, and it gives me the 2 teams. That's what I look at. That's what I put up. So this time, they're actually showing the whole thing. They're giving me the opening lines. They're giving me everything. So it's not just the schedule on a drop-down menu. It's an actual article.
Fucking
So you're looking at an article. Okay.
Do you want the link? Here's the link.
Oh, just go. Let's just go.
All right.
We don't have a ton of time.
Stop
left.
questioning what I'm talking about.
No, I can question whatever I want, actually.
Well, not without basis.
No, you never pick spreads, and also I wasn't informed ahead of time that we'd have the spreads in front of us, so I would have been nice to know. So I mean,
I wasn't planning on picking the spread.
I know the spreads.
I would have liked.
I wasn't planning on it. It never entered into my thoughts that we were going to be picking spreads until I'm looking at it right now. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick against the spreads. Like I said, because Dave says I never pick against the spread, so I'm going to pick against the spread. And if you remember, at the first time I mentioned it, I just picked it straight up. And then after announcing the second game, I went back and said, you know what? I'm going to pick against the spread. So it was never a plan. So there was never anything to inform you about.
Let's go.
I always do both anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, we have the Bills hosting the Colts. 1 o'clock Saturday. Bills minus 6.5, over under 51.
Bills.
Yeah, I'm going Bills.
That's an easy over too. Bills.
Yeah, I'm taking. I'm
I feel like the Colts have a better chance of most of the other teams that are in this round. The
Bills
to
are
win
just
this
too
game.
good, though.
I don't know. The Bills.
I'm going the under on this because the Colts do have a good defense, and so do the Bills. So
no way, dude. It'd be like 35-20 something.
I don't know. All right. Pittsburgh hosting Cleveland. Steelers minus 3.5, over under 47.
Pittsburgh.
Hit.
I wish it would be Cleveland. I got to pick Cleveland, but they have so many, all the COVID issues now. They got coaches out. They got players out. Joe Batonio, their guard. I'm still going to take Cleveland, but it's going to be tough.
I'm going to go under on this one. Over under is 47. I'm going to go under.
I'd take the over.
Are you making straight up picks too, though? Because that's what I'm picking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I'm just adding this in.
I just want to make sure.
Tennessee hosting Baltimore, both 11-5. Ravens minus 4.5, over under 54.5.
Baltimore.
I am going to go with Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Baltimore, they'll cover the spread and it'll go over.
Seen them beat the Pats at home last year. I know they got the sand.
Yeah, well, Lamar needs it more.
I will go with the over.
Mine had it as grasp last year with the Patriots.
Lamar needs it more.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's about it. Like I said, we'll be doing the live show on Sunday. We'll be talking all things NHL. We may or may not have a couple of guests. We'll see. I'm still working on procuring some, but we'll see. Either way, it's going to be all of us, and it's going to be a good time because I know Ashes is super excited, as am I, for hockey to be back. But with that being said, do you have a hot take, prediction, or disagree with something we said? Let us know at theloudestsportsshow@gmail.com. You can follow us on social media, on Twitter at loudest_show, on Instagram at theloudestsportsshow. With that being said, do we have Emma that we're waiting on?
Yep, she's right here. She wants to say her piece because we're about finished. So what do we say when we're finished? What do you say? Come on, look at the camera. Say in the mic. Yeah, you did. Peace out, Ryan.
Peace out. I'm out here.
All right. We will see you next week. Oh, don't forget to check us out on Tuesdays on Hellfire Radio.
Hell yeah. We love y'all.
Peace.